Hey everybody, welcome back to some war game. Welcome back to a replay cast that I played against somebody not called Grand, or rather somebody called not Grand. And before we start, I actually have a question. If I do these replay casts, which I will probably do every now and then, how would you prefer me to do them? Do you want me to do like a neutral point of view, where I just show both sides really, as in like this neutral point of view, not neutral in terms of who I'm rooting for, of course? Or do you want me to view it from my perspective, or even my opponent's perspective? Obviously, depending on certain moments, I might switch around, but in general, of course, what would you prefer, if you have any preference? Either way, back to the replay. I probably hinted at it in the title, but my opponent is playing a spicy, might be a bit extreme, but a deck that you don't really see very often in ranked. Not necessarily because it's bad. Nick the Man also played it a lot in the past. Soviet Airborne. I've neither encountered a deck nor not Grand in ranked this season yet. I'm not sure if calling it season is fair enough, but we have played against each other before, before the reset during the past few years, every now and then. He's a very formidable player. He starts with 2 fobs. I've not seen this replay yet. It's 2 fobs, damn Daniel. And he plays it very interestingly. Like I said, I've played against Soviet Airborne before. When Nick played it, mostly. And obviously, every now and then you see somebody else, but especially against Nick. And this was quite different. Now, I'm playing Commonwealth Mechanized. Get your veteran Chimera going. Your elite Aslevs and Vickers. So good and tasty. And yeah. Let's just get speedy through the deployment. Actually, let's for now do my point of view, because I didn't know what I was going up against, right? I wanted to start with Gazelle at first, Exceptional Optics Recon, but I opted for 220mm, so I can hopefully have some kind of meat shield, or at least, if there's no AA helicopter, another cannon. Against helicopters, it might try to stop my Puma. Because the thing is, you gotta keep in mind, not only does this have 6 HP, so pretty much any anti-air healer will need 2 hits unless they crit, the exception being the Chinese TY90, of course. But it's also small, the Lynx, right? So there's a reasonable chance that one of those missiles might miss. So the opponent might need 3 missiles, in which case only 1 missile is almost certainly not enough to kill a 6 HP Puma. Now in hindsight, of course, I should have sent in both there, but I also just really like having a Lynx hovering at low altitude down here as well, shooting at stuff coming up. Now there's a K-52, which is kind of infamous for missing more than 1 missile, but the problem was also I didn't spot it, so I kept flying into it, as it has stealth, and I have no optics. I have poor optics. So I got really close to it and, gave it range scaling. Trying to fly away, but that would have some Puma, which is unfortunate, but the Puma is also only medium, so yeah. So I spotted the K-52, I was like, alright, Soviets. Fair enough. Get like my usual stuff here. You always, of course, want to avoid your opponent sending like a Hind or something down here immediately into your spawn, so at least gotta have something there. And with mech, you have your manpads, you have your ATGMs. It's pretty nice. Euro on veteran. This here is a BRDM-3. Fairly standard, but pretty slow thus far. I didn't see any BTR-90s or something, which I expected. I see Scratchets. And I think there's another BTRD. Yep. And I'm slowly like starting to get suspicious. I'm like, ooh, is this Airborne, right? Veteran robot. When do you see veteran robot? Either because, up-vetted weapon teams in Airborne, because you only get this transport in Airborne, or up-vetted VDV in this transport. Nobody uses up-vetted VDV in this transport, at least not in unspec, right? So with the Ural and no BTR-90, with Ural carrying Gru and no BTR-90, I was like, looks like this is Airborne. And yeah, so let's go back to neutral now that the surprise is over. And frankly, I have not even seen this from a neutral perspective myself, so it's gonna be interesting to see what's going on here. The Lynx actually does a good job here. Killed the BRDM-3, killed the Factoria transport. What did they come in with? Scratch it even. Surprised I won. But I'm like, yeah, okay, Airborne shouldn't really be too difficult with mech, right? Especially if you know early on that it's Airborne. And here's what I found very interesting. Incredibly little Airborne play, at least thus far. When I played against Nick back in the day, it's so extreme, but in the past, he was a lot more healer focused, would get like his 25T or something out much earlier, would do a lot more, especially plane play, right? And this playstyle is very similar to what I keep saying whenever I talk about this deck. This deck can simply play as mech, basically, right? You get your robots, you get your scratchets, you get your shock squads, your weapon teams, everything in ground transports. You get autocannons in APs, IFVs, right? Conquerors IFVs. What of course you are missing compared to mech is, you know, tanks. But unlike mech, you now get veterancy, which mech doesn't get anymore on your infantry. And you still get stuff like MTVs. So yeah, either way, I still have my Chimera, I still have my Stormer, I didn't really lose much. I dealt a lot of damage, actually. This ass left catches this K-52 here. It's on Lily Dry, so it has really good accuracy. But unfortunately it gets out of my sight, right? I can't spot it anymore. But I did a good amount of damage. I don't think he expected a single Bushmaster to do that much damage, but there you go. Stormer being pinged. I already know why. But yeah, so far I'm just slowly but surely trying to consolidate my position. I was definitely too greedy here. I should not have done that. Trying to push up with the commandos here. I did not have the support here to do that. Spätsun's group will of course easily win against this. I did realize that my Stormer was spotted because it wasn't blinking in the bush anymore, so I move it around. At this point I also mainly use Stormer because I'm mostly worried about helicopters. And I don't want to have to seed macro. Plus, if it does come down to the SC25T, the Rapier is just not great. Unlike the Stormer, of course, it does have the range, but the Rapier also is only 5 AG. And if you hit the 2 armor on a 25T, you deal 2 damage. Right? So I'd rather just not worry about having a Radar micro and just spam Stormer and Manpads. I'd get some fire support to deal with the Gru. This is spotted. I don't... Oh, well, you're out in the open now. But I think it was spotted in the bush already. But this one is spotted at least. No, never mind. The one behind is not spotted. Yeah. Anyway, there's a Abyss coming in. It dies, but... I think in that specific instance, it was probably an okay trade for me. Because I still did have enough AA around to, like, stop some K-29s or something to just bully me. Plus I get more Stormers than he gets Bisses. But in the long run that is not a good trade. Right, Chimera is moving up. And in typical Razzmann fashion I moved it forward and forgot about it. I see the Conquerors M coming in, I immediately turn around here. What the Chimera can, just like the 103D, is turn around very quickly. And I keep moving backwards, do something else, and don't realize that this is happening. Yeah, very embarrassing. Very embarrassing. I was like, alright, in no way the Conqueror's M is gonna reload fast enough and keep line of sight for me to shoot back at me. But the Chimera is also only 50k mage fast. Chimera is also not the greatest unit in this matchup, while it does have really good armor for its price, including side armor. If it was full HP, the Conquerors actually would not have one-shot it. The lack of turret and speed makes it really awkward, right? So, against a deck like this, and a playstyle like this, you constantly get shot at from the side from ATGMs left and right. And then that's where you need a turret on your tank. This is where you need speed. And the Chimera is neither. But I still love it, okay? Let's get some commandos in here, but no chance. And as good as commandos are, Elite VDB are still quite a threat. And my deck doesn't have a whole lot of IFVs, and I don't think I definitely ever really brought enough fire support to really deal with scratches at medium ranges where the commandos can shoot at. Now I'm trying to be funny with the AVREs, but then there's like BMPs here that can just outrange me. I was like, oh, come on, man. I'm just trying to be funny and have fun with the AVREs. It's just not gonna happen. Left is pretty decently secured, actually. Although I do miss a man pad there. I would like to see a man pad there. Or maybe just an SAS squad. I did have one of the... Oh no, the Aslav that killed the... Or shot at the K-52 got killed. I'm surprised this did not get repaired yet. Probably forgot about it. Alright, so just some small skirmishes up front here. But I took a lot of damage. MTV here was landed. So it was actually shooting at... I don't remember what it was, but shooting at it landed, which was pretty annoying. I think wombats. Really frustrating. I tried to like shoot at the Conquerors here, but I actually miss it. And that fucker is elite. I'm just unable to kill that stupid Conqueror squad. It annoys me to no hell and to all hell. That doesn't make any sense. It annoys me to no end. There you go. And you'll soon see why. Milan does what Milan do best, and that's miss. It just doesn't hit. More Factorias. The Factorias everywhere together with robots is really something that I didn't anticipate, and I really had big issues against. They just, yeah, I was being pushed back and essentially encircled with all those Factorias, and my deck relies a lot on vehicles as well. Right, when you're going up against scratch jets and such like that, you need vehicles of your own. Yeah, these Conquer squads, man. I mean, to be fair, right, with 3 HE mortars, you gotta get a bit lucky. Right, it's not like there's any guarantee, but yeah. And then I didn't have anything here around, so he technically can just move up with vehicles. Stormer misses twice, which is annoying. My entire foothold here essentially got bullied. MD3. It's now K29 on the left that I actually can't deal with. This BMD3 is moving, VRDM3 is moving. At first I was like... Yeah, I was just suited with a fuselage. I didn't realize they were driving down there. And then when I saw those BTRDs, I was like, oh, okay, he didn't actually drive past me. Okay. And that put me into a false sense of security. Then these two buggers are here. I immediately get my Vickers. I did, I think, if I remember correctly, spot that there were 2 of them. But I thought they were both BMD3s. I didn't realize that one of them was a BRDM3. Either way, I get 2 Vickers. Hoping to deal with them that way. VDV kills my TH. Don't forget that basic VDV have 875 meters range. Pretty good. I mean, get them on elite, not only at accurate, but still very, very strong against infantry. BMP6S5 also actually doing a really good job against my rovers. I'm just trying to hunt these. I got some M108s to help against the Conquerors, but I think I got it eventually, but not before it killed one of my AS1 Reckies. This kills one of my Reckies again. Don't forget they are leopard once, right? Especially to the side, they are incredibly vulnerable. I don't think the BIS can kill it up front, but don't underestimate that thing. Or in rocket power planes like that in general. Yeah, I didn't realize where they were driving, so Vickers is just... Yep. I was just too slow with the Vickers, right? The Holland timer, them already being there, me spawning down here. I needed a helicopter. Just have them hover above the bushes, stationary. Then they wouldn't get outranged and could immediately shoot back. But even up front, right, it's looking really grim. It's not looking good at all. I eventually realized, okay, Vickers still has not shot at anything. I don't know where they are. Split them up, one south, one north. This just flies into its death. I didn't even realize because I was so busy. Vickers gets killed. Yeah. They were looking this way, my Vickers was looking down there. So I had to turn first. They didn't, so they bullied me. And they killed my CV. Yeah, it was just basically getting wrecked on all fronts. I guess not quite golf, but not like there was much from either side. And yeah, KD is pretty one-sided as well. But I did have a rematch later on Punchbowl. Same maps. Sorry, same maps. Same decks. Still starting with 2 farms, I wonder? The only one? Okay. So, I was like, ooh, that's a bad map. That's a really bad map. But then it was like, maybe it isn't. Maybe it isn't, right? Because, yes, it's a big map, which is good for Airborne. But the big map is not so great for track stuff. And honestly, what was really the biggest issue was the ground stuff from the Airborne deck, right? Which is kind of funny, but it is what it is. So it's like, the helicopters and planes, while they were annoying, I don't think were the main issue. Alright, that's number 1. Number 2 is both Charlie and Foxtrot, relatively narrow. Right? If I push here, sure I can get shot at from here technically and there, but there's not a lot of cover to work with here, and I can basically secure this anyway. So it's kind of easy-ish to push there without getting bullied by ATGMs from every side or angle. Charlie, if I get in here early, kind of a similar story. Line of sight here you can just basically ignore. There's a cliff here, so if I secure this and the town, shouldn't be too difficult either. That was my thinking. My idea was basically just don't bother with Bravo, unless you get it for free or something. Just don't try to fight over here, because then helicopters and ATGMs in the towns, etc. will just bully you. Town fights will probably lose as well. Just don't bother with this. And planes, of course, with lack of cover will just bully you. Plenty of cover here, there. I guess in between not so much, but at least I can retreat back here and here as well. So I should focus on these 2 sides. That was my thought process. It does, of course, help massively that I know. That's also the thing with Airborne. Or, to be fair, any deck, but when you know what deck you're going up against, and especially if it's like a wacky strategy, might be too much, but an unusual strategy, or a strategy or playstyle you don't see very often, obviously it's a massive benefit if you know beforehand, you know that you're going up against it. Against Soviet Airborne, it only works so much because, like I said, they have a strong ground game. But still, right? I know what to expect. I know to expect lots of scratch heads, lots of Factorias, ATGM squads, and actually not a whole lot of helicopter spam. So, the other thing that I was thinking was, and I'm happy that didn't happen. What if there's an MTV opening here, right? Because I don't want to lose Foxtrot, and ideally I want actually to get a foothold in Echo. What if there's an MTV coming down here? That would be just horrible, right? Because it just completely bullies my wombats, which I actually kind of need. I was like, let's get some anyway, just on the off chance, and hope that driving a Stormer down here and getting it basically in this position early, or as fast as I can, will be able to shoot down the MTV fast enough. Fortunately for me, there was no MTV here. In fact, there was just a single helicopter except for the K-52 being started with. Interesting. And my opponent was not even going for Bravo. So there's a Euro. Had to unload because of my stuff. Wombat here just failed. But I think I told him to go like here and there again against a potential MTV. Still, I forced these to unload early, get some shots on as well, which is really, really good. I do that here with the Puma and the Lynxes. Oh, there is an MTV here. But the K-52, fortunately for me, was not there, so... My Lynxes... I think I do shoot them down, right? Yeah, totally. Again, just like the Fennec 20mm, those things are actually really, really good. And then I unload the SAS. I do kill the Factoria. I think my green jacket spot them. But that's really nice. I admit, I may have been a bit too harsh on the rover one, but in the past. But in the past, you also couldn't get it on elite, okay? Jalos here as well now. Also, actually pretty good. They have kinetic scaling, so only one range below max range, and they can one-shot one armor stuff. And the 20 RPM is just crazy. Aslav against PRDM. Okay, very good. 45% accuracy on the move. I think it was on the move still. Maybe it's stationary now, because it has the optical failure might have been an attack move. I don't know. But I actually win this, as you can see. Better accuracy versus more armor. And more AP. I think on average I should probably lose, especially if it gets closer. But the higher accuracy and veterancy, well, higher accuracy due to the veterancy, of course, not only meant I had a higher chance to hit, but as a result also to crit. Which luckily wins me the fight. But because of the BRDM3 and the BMD3 in the last game, I definitely wanted to send something here. For one, to maybe try to cheese myself, but also to stop something ASAP. Plus that game against Blue Dragons on this map from the other side. I got some PTSD from that, I think. Either way, I'm doing pretty good here. Just some Svetsons here, which are gonna be annoying, but we'll come to that in a bit. So I was very surprised to see very little going on here. The assets are still alive. This didn't get pushed at all. I had commanders here as well in case there was like a push trying to go down here, or I was fully expecting to lose this as well, right? Which is why I put the javelin here. So it could get 2 or 3 missiles off against what I expected would be a lot of MTVs and such in mid. And just slow him down before he might try to bum rush down here. But nothing like that happened, which I'm very grateful for. H7, 20 millimeters get killed. SAS are in there. And I get my foothold. Not quite as much or as fast as I wanted to, plus there's a lot more than I expected. And with the VDV in these forests, I was like, ugh, I probably can't really move my maxes in there. So at first I put my maxes down here, because I wasn't sure if my opponent might try to send some stuff here and send some stuff down here, because if my maxes was up here, there was nothing stopping my opponent really to push down here. I guess I had the ass-labs, but I did not want to hinge the survival of my 2-pointer on 2 1-armor ass-labs. They are formidable now, but just they live only 1 armor. Plus my stuff got in here for free anyway, or like safely, so I wasn't too worried. I also started with 2 javelins. And no stormer, well, for one I spent the points up here, but also because I felt that it would be very easy to lose that vehicle to like a MiG-21 BIS again. And just didn't want to have to bother with that. Trying to get my SAS out here safely, but they do get sniped down. Use my mortar as well, moving up my maxes because I realized, okay, nothing's pushing down here. 2 VDV and a Spetsnaz grew. I don't think my commanders will win this. And in general, having my javelins unloaded back here also meant I had nothing against the K-29s. So yeah, this foothold was not looking good. But I thought like, okay, just save what you can. Don't try to get into Charlie with all your might, because I am up here, where eventually I actually managed to kill those Spetsnaz. I think what really helped is CQC. They have a minimum range against with the RPO. Either that, or I'm not sure if they do have a minimum range. But another thing is also vehicles, especially at least with AoE tags, like the RPO. I guess it doesn't have an AoE tag, but I guess there's like still an AoE. They will try, or they will avoid fighting if wherever they would shoot, there's like a friendly unit very close nearby. Every now and then you see that. Like for one example, obviously is if 2 squads are in CQC, then your fire support, even if they have line of sight, will very often not shoot at the enemy squad. Because when you do, you will also damage your own squad. And it also sometimes you see when units are quite right next to each other in buildings. Interesting that they just instead of using the RPK, instead they would just not fire at all. They would only use the primary weapon, which is weird. I would expect that if you turn the RPO off here, they would start firing with the RPK. That is a very odd behavior that I actually never thought about or seen. I have seen. Interesting. Either way, I'm winning here, which is very good, of course. And plus with this town, I can fortify with Milans, DGMs, I can get Wombats here. Very good position to defend against that type of push, because my opponent will have trouble to bully me with ATGMs. So yeah. Commandos will lose here. Maxas though did catch these VDV out in the open, which is very good. I still have the green jackets here. And I managed to at least get these commandos out, which is very, very good. I immediately realized, no, this is lost. I shouldn't have gone there in the first place, but this is lost. Aslev, very cheeky here. Manages to break line of sight thanks to all these pushes to the K29. And actually manages to still kill it. It was very fortunate for me and a huge blow. I was winning here. I was losing this position, but I was still holding off. My position, my objective now was don't lose Delta, don't let them into Delta. Because pushing back this town against Elite VDV, Gornos, helicopters hovering here would have been a nightmare. Even force these two not to kill the robot, which is nice. Yeah, slowly putting some stuff in here as well. Putting links in here just so I don't accidentally miss something that might drive or fly there. Looking good. I moved in FV in here as well to just check and realize, hold on, that town is empty. Send in 3 more reservers to double check. And that's of course very good news for me. VP actually took a lot of damage from those 5-pointers. Also put in another Maxas, 2 more Vickers. Vickers because they're fast as like a quick response to just put in here for kinetic guns. Because after I was losing the town here, I was like, ooh, I don't really know how much my opponent has. I don't want to have everything just, you know, be protected by 1 Maxis. I was still lacking infantry. Only had 2 commandos. I put in another SAS here to hopefully shoot out helicopters. I might try to sneak around there or something. Or shoot in there. Move those javelin back a bit because I saw the Guru. Which is why I moved in those commandos to intercept. Very nice. Green Jacket here doing a good job spotting as well. SU-25T out now. Which is spooky, but you know, I have lots of manpads. I have 2 SAS. If it's over aggressive. Reflect my CV here in case, you know, from stuff that might try to sneak around. But maybe not protect, but at least have some tripwires here, if you will, that alert me if something's happening. Territorials unloaded here. I would just hope through the town to check, okay, is it empty? Is it really empty? Because it could also just be 2 VDV down here or something, right? And I don't want to like move in with the commandos and 5-pointers just for both of them to get killed immediately with everything inside. Spetsnaz here are gonna be really annoying because I have no vehicles. I spot that, moving with the Puma to help around. But then it was like, okay, all I gotta do is just essentially engage this with my squads here from each side. Then the RPO will basically just bully one of those squads. And yeah, 25 got hit by the Hornet. Javelin, unfortunately, only get 1 missile onto the K-52. And yeah, now I split them so that they, there you go, right, that RPO. And I managed to save them all, which is really, really nice. Besides, of course, just killing them. But yeah, now I'm like, okay. Just play it cool, Raz, right? The thing with Airborne is, if you lose your AA and then suddenly helicopters will swarm you, or planes will swarm you, and you could just lose everything within 5 minutes. So I never felt truly safe. KD-wise, it was probably looking pretty good for me. Positioning-wise, it still does. But I'm just... I played against too many Airborne decks against Nick. I played against too many players just spamming Heinz near the end of the game. While my opponent didn't do it in the game before, who knows, right? They are winning very handily last time. So maybe when it gets tougher, or in a situation like this, on a different map, they start using more helos or more planes. Like, I didn't see the 25 before, right, in the last match. So, or that adjusting the playstyle. Anything can happen, so I didn't wanna, just sit back and relax. Not one of the, oh no, one of the LFs was the one that moved up here. LF back here got killed, or spotted and killed, unfortunately. But now it's basically just both of us sitting there, setting out a plane every now and then, but not really doing much. I actually hate this. This is why I usually don't really like being in a defensive position, but I don't want to push through the open against an airborne deck, right? But the thing with a deck like that is you really want to know what they're doing, where they're planning to push. Because if you don't see anything, at some point, but you could get helicopter drop on the other side of the map, right? That's how you really wanted intel, and that's why by pushing, you of course force your opponent to react to your push, and that then gives you your information. 27M, I found a very interesting choice here. I guess I wanted something against the Maxuses, and to basically guarantee a kill on my ace after they spotted, because maybe they didn't feel like the Yak 1-for-1 was enough, although that thing is elite. But still found it a bit odd. Maybe a 25T could have been nice with the 2 rear armor. I don't know. I realized this was spotted. Lejalo. Doesn't quite get it off. I actually critted with the javelin, which is really funny. Like, come on, 45% base accuracy. Really lucky. Really lucky. But I don't mind it. I don't mind it. S25 comes out again. I repair these up. Also very crucial. I put in some stuff in here, right? With the line of sight at all these forests. I did not want 2 VDV to suddenly pop out walking into the town, right? Again, that would be crucial. And I just left these in here because I could always just move them into the forest if I need to. Plus, it's like another line of defense. If I suddenly lose my 2 Maxuses here, there would be nothing to stop stuff from moving in there. I guess it's still the Vickers, but if I lose my vehicles here, there would be nothing to stop stuff from moving in here. And the commandos would be another line of defense. Nice. Plus, I don't need them at the front line right there anyway. 4-man pads, yeah. Plus, these are elite. So, tough luck for the 25. That's the issue with stuff like the 25, the base one at least, because it has 1 rear armor. They can dish out a lot of damage, but if you don't know the AA situation, very spicy, because they fly in so deep and so low. Any manpad in the area will be able to shoot at it. Yeah. I put some stuff in mid, reinforced left, and I was starting to feel really good, not gonna lie. Because that previous game actually stressed me out, I'll be completely honest. I'm happy I didn't record that. I wasn't really salty or mad, but I was like, oh shit, oh no, please don't. That was me in the game before. Smoking here, so I knew, okay, well, there's gonna be some push, let's see what happens. I just got some Canadian rifles, TH is behind. Max is back because obviously I want infantry in front. They're also both damaged. Probably both a one-shot by now for the VDV. You need 8 AP difference to armor to deal 5 HP. This one has 6 HP, but they also have a 10 AP difference. So both will be a one-shot to the VDV. And with 875 meters range, oh baby. Oh baby. Oh baby, I mean. Obviously I support with mortars. They're not the most explosive ones with only 3 HE, so gotta be a bit lucky with the hits here. But fortunately I push them back and they just killed my recon, so well. So at this point, also see all those Urals going back. So this is the point where I think my opponent decides to, yeah, I see helicopters moving back. I don't think I saw those BMP 685s moving back, but Yeah, now my opponent switches strategies. I think they realize I, sp I spent way too much here to defend this. And they didn't get the value out of the planes, so they have just less ground units there. So they're trying to push somewhere else. But again, with Airborne, I was thinking, I think that might happen, but I never felt truly secure. I think I'm still investing some stuff into the right there, right? You see my Maxas moving. Send more commandos. It up until I actually see the attack happening here, I don't push stuff there. Alright, I got a Stormer and actually put it here. Exactly because I was like, okay, I have only one Javelin here, like 2 squads with 2 MTVs would probably just bully me here. So at least put like another line of defense there, so that they can't just move to your ACV here. Or, well, I guess I was spotting stuff here, so because you might also move. But I still move the Maxes down here. Now now I move either over to the left. Buy another Stormer. Buy a 80 gem. Like, again, I was like, okay, and there's a grant here. I was like, okay, if I lose this, buy an 80 gem for here. Just make sure you don't let him into your 2-pointer. Right, I was actually already ready to lose the foothold here in this big town in Bravo. Javelin was unfortunately worried, and since they're down with it, I recently down with it. Originally I had them up with it, now I'm down with them because I kept running out. They just don't hit, right? Shaken or worried, 45% base accuracy, down with it. Yeah, they're not the most accurate ones. Scratch it. But yeah, MTV's here. Okay, this is gonna be a very spicy moment. I felt like, let's just go for the Hail Mary. I don't even get a single point of damage in, which is unfortunate, but that's on me. Stormer gets some stuff off. Move in and out of the smoke. And this was like my worst case scenario. Is this stuff just pushing in there. Because it would be annoying to get rid of. Somehow the Stormer actually survives this. I still don't understand how. Okay, I guess I understand how now. The Javelin finishes off the 24p before it can finish off the Stormer. I completely did not catch that. Got another Stormer because I was expecting this Beast to go for the Stormer. I guess it was trying to actually go for the Maxas? Or he forgot to give it a 5 position order or something. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe he also right-clicked and lost line of sight and that got rid of the order of the Beast. I don't know. Maybe it was just misclick, maybe it was unlucky. I don't know, but really happy to see a Forest Abyss not killing anything. Stormer just survives. 27M just goes for the other one of the wombats because there was no different other target. There's this stuff here, but I was like, okay, I think we're mostly through it. We're mostly through it. There's still some stuff I gotta clean up, but got it, right? Right? Commandos are still alive here as well, so all I need is to protect them against anti-air. Good luck trying to win against 4 commandos in town fights. Maxas is still alive. What did I lose here, right? I lost the Stormer here now. 200 BMPs, but it's okay. I did a lot of damage. Lost 2 wombats there. Whatever, I still have my Stormer. Catching those VDV in the open. Stormer kills the MTV. Yeah, just if you kind of see it coming or at least protect for it, you can manage against this stuff. But if I didn't have my Stormer here, would have been spicy. I did have the 2 THs here, which would be good in like from forest against helos, but against the autocannon of the 24 VPs, it would have been rough. But yeah, obviously it helped that I expected to go up against this tank, so I could open respectively, and I got my revenge. Basically, yeah, opposite of the last game, right? First one I got wrecked, now he kind of got wrecked, at least looking at the KD. Although probably most of these losses were during the last 5 minutes. Up until then, I expected KT to be somewhat even, but I was, obviously I had more ground. Either way, it's an interesting deck. So with Airborne it is, and really very cool playstyle with the fact that you can essentially play it like a ground mech deck. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye.